Recently, the White House posted something wild. America will be the Bitcoin superpower of the world. The golden age of America has begun. I mean, wow. And right alongside that, a brand new executive order establishing the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and the US Digital Asset Stockpile. Two different things, two different rules. This is the biggest shift in US crypto policy ever. The government just rewrote their rules on crypto. And here's where it gets spicy. Trump's original social media posts hyped up Bitcoin and 4 altcoins, but now he's backpedaled, calling those alts just examples. Naughty Trump. So what changed, and what does this mean for Bitcoin, altcoins, and most importantly, your sovereign stash? If you're joining me for the first time, I'm Anna, ex-product manager, full-time crypto investor, creator of the Sovereign Stash strategy. I've built a 6-figure crypto stash following my own sovereign strategies, and this channel is to help you get there too. Now here's what we're covering today. Why this executive order and the recent US crypto summit matter. How it changed from Trump's original announcement in my last video, and most importantly, how it affects your financial future, especially your altcoins. If you appreciate me keeping you updated on the Trump pump and dumps, hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in. Now, I've read the entire executive order front to back, and here's what actually matters. The headlines don't tell the full story because the devil's in the details. So let's get straight to them. Trump's new order lays out 2 major policies. The first is the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. It holds only Bitcoin seized by the government, and it's locked up permanently like gold, no selling. They might buy more later, but strictly budget neutral, so no taxpayer funding or new debt. The second major policy is for the creation of the US Digital Asset Stockpile. This is a separate stash that holds all other digital assets confiscated by Uncle Sam. Not a permanent reserve, though they can't just sell it freely. They can only offload or transfer it if required by law, like court orders or victim reimbursements. So now Bitcoin is in a different category from all other digital assets. I truly can't overstate how significant this separation of Bitcoin from altcoins really is. Bitcoin is locked as a strategic reserve. Altcoins are still kind of in limbo. This is why this is bigger than just another pro-crypto move. This is Bitcoin getting state-level recognition. So what's with this Bitcoin superpower of the world flex and the whole golden age narrative? The US government didn't just acknowledge Bitcoin, it officially separated it from everything else. That is the real headline here. So why does this matter? Well, in my opinion, there's a few big things at play. The US is securing Bitcoin as a backup asset in case the global financial system shifts, because it is. Unlike the dollar, Bitcoin can't be printed, frozen, or inflated away. It operates outside the banking system, meaning no government or central bank can control it. In an uncertain world where global economic power is shifting, the US wants a hedge. Bitcoin is like insurance against future instability, whether from inflation, global conflicts, or a decline in US dollar dominance. By locking Bitcoin into a strategic reserve, the US is ensuring it has an asset that holds value no matter what happens. Unlike gold, Bitcoin is fully digital and can be moved easily, arguably making it a better reserve asset for the modern digital world. So this isn't about speculation, it's about financial security at the highest level. So Bitcoin is now officially recognized as a long-term strategic asset. Trump originally hyped 4 altcoins alongside Bitcoin, then walked it back, calling them just examples. Why? My guess is politics and control. Bitcoin is the safest political play. No CEO, no foundation, no insider risk. Unlike altcoins, no sudden scandals or rug pulls. Altcoins are still too unpredictable. The SEC is backing off lawsuits, sure, but many altcoins still have corporate ties. The US would probably rather not endorse an asset that could collapse or be manipulated. So my key takeaway is that the US is locking down Bitcoin first because it's the safest bet, and they also haven't figured out what to do with the rest of crypto just yet. Regardless, it's a clear sign that the regulatory landscape is shifting. So if you're holding alts, watch closely, because the US is still trying to write their rules to suit them. Now, there's a chance the US may not be hoarding Bitcoin just as a reserve or as a kind of digital gold. There's actually a possibility this could be a US national security play. Now, this is a huge shift, but it didn't come out of nowhere. The pieces have been coming together for years, and now this emerging narrative seems to be leaking into the mainstream. Bitcoin might now be on the table as a national security asset to reinforce America's economic and cyber defenses. You heard that right. Think that's wild? Well, it is, especially if this idea is entirely new to you. But here's the relevant recent events to catch you up if so. At the White House Digital Assets Summit last weekend, Michael Saylor, who's the executive chairman of MicroStrategy, now renamed just Strategy, essentially pitched Bitcoin as a national security asset to Trump. This is the guy whose company owns more Bitcoin than any publicly traded firm. He's been relentless over the years in framing Bitcoin as the ultimate digital asset, calling it digital capital. His stance is that the US dollar is currency, but America needs both capital and currency to remain a superpower. This week after the summit, Saylor gave another speech and expanded what he said at the White House. He said you can't remain sovereign if you lose control of cyberspace. His argument is that digital intelligence requires digital energy, secured by digital power to enable digital commerce. And, as he points out, Bitcoin is the largest power network on Earth. Food for thought. Now add to this, there's Jason Lowery. He's a US Space Force officer whose university thesis that he called Soft War made waves in defense circles when he first published it, and then it was unpublished. His thesis is a novel theoretical framework for analysing the potential national strategic impact of Bitcoin as an electro-cybersecurity technology rather than a peer-to-peer cash system. Ooh. Now, if all of that is just too much for you, the point is he argues that Bitcoin isn't just money, and it's digital armour, essential in cyber and financial warfare. So he frames the Bitcoin network as a weaponized power network securing energy and digital commerce. Now, Larry wasn't at the summit, and his thesis is not official US policy, don't get me wrong. But the fact that Bitcoin's role in national defense was openly discussed at the White House last weekend, that is a massive shift. The bottom line is the US may believe Bitcoin is not just digital gold. We don't know, it's speculation. But it sure is interesting. I told you it was wild. Let me know what you think about this incredible emerging narrative. Now, whether you buy into Bitcoin as a cybersecurity asset or not, the fact is we're not just talking about bigger Bitcoin bags for the US or a few altcoins here. This executive order signals a profound shift that could reshape how all of us earn money, spend, and invest money on a global scale. By positioning Bitcoin as a US national strategic asset and leaving altcoins in regulatory limbo, the US is effectively shaping the new digital economy, one that could redefine everything. It could literally change international standards for global reserves. Watch this space. All right, now that I've effectively blown your minds, let's talk about my personal game plan. Now, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just what I'm doing. I've been building my own personal Bitcoin strategic reserve for years, and the US just basically confirmed my play wasn't so dumb after all. What a plot twist. And it's probably going to make Bitcoin be even more dominant. So I'm increasing my allocation even further relative to alts. And I've been buying this downturn in the market in a way that my strategy allows. If you're curious how I handle market ups and downs, watch my video Crypto Crashed Hard, Why the Chaos is Your Edge. I've linked in the description. I'm still holding select altcoins that I believe will play a key role in the digital economy and the next internet. Yes, altcoins are much riskier, but some top projects have real utility, and I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of these so-called USA coins, among a few other key narratives. I'm keeping a smaller, more cautious bag of alts. But I will be watching how the government handles its digital asset stockpile for signs of their next policy moves, because it's probably going to affect our bags, up or down. So let's be real, if you're buying anything in this market dump, Bitcoin over altcoins seems like the smarter bet. Just my opinion. But I'm also keeping a close eye on US dollar stablecoin developments because they're another wild card. For those of you unfamiliar with stablecoins, a USD stablecoin is a cryptocurrency pegged to the US dollar. Now, Treasury Secretary Bessent made strong comments during the crypto summit about stablecoins being key to maintaining US dollar dominance. To me, this suggests we might see some stablecoins get more government-backed legitimacy, and that could shake up the entire crypto market. I don't love centralized stablecoins at all. They're potential Trojan horses for more government control, in my opinion. And trust me, the US isn't embracing them to give you more freedom. It's about keeping the dollar dominant. I get why they're doing it. But that doesn't mean I trust the long-term play. In my opinion, we desperately need better alternatives in the stablecoin arena, especially truly decentralized crypto-native stablecoins that don't come with the current crop's limitations. But that's a rabbit hole for another day. Now remember, I'm not a financial advisor and nothing I say is financial advice. So to wrap up, the US is stacking Bitcoin and never selling. What are you doing? They're positioning stablecoins to reinforce the dollar. How are you positioning yourself? Your sovereign stash isn't about copying national reserves, it's about owning your financial future on your terms. That's what crypto technology lets us do, like no government currency has ever enabled us to. It's a gift. Trump's new crypto policies confirm what many of us already knew. Bitcoin is an asset unlike anything else, but they also highlight something just as important. Your financial sovereignty is in your hands. And remember, Bitcoin doesn't need governments. Governments need Bitcoin. By the way, thanks for the comments on my last videos. I seriously love hearing from you. I don't want to just talk to the hand over here, so keep them coming. Let me know what you want to know more about. Thanks for watching today. Keep building your sovereign stash, and I'll see you in the next video.